All right, everybody. Let me get the people back. Shit. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get you guys a link. All right. All right, you guys, everybody get in here. Everybody get in here. This is the new stream. Forget the old stream. This is the new stream. Unavoidable issue. My computer literally just said, your computer ran into an issue and needed a restart. And then it restarted. So nothing that can be done about that. I think that sometimes happens when I don't restart this computer as often as I should. Because sometimes I just let this computer stay on for like weeks and weeks. All right, everybody. Gosh, Bennett says we're never getting to 100 likes. No, we're getting to 100 likes. Everyone get the stream to 100 likes. We gotta get to 100 likes and then we'll be good to go. In the meantime, I'll start pulling the shit up. Also, what was... Hold on. I kind of want to see the reaction in the... Or not the reaction, the... the fuck was it? The announcement. One Piece anime announcement. I kind of want to see this. Where do I find it? One Piece news. One Piece news. Is this in English? Is this in English? Hold on, I'm just skimming this in the meantime. Does anyone know where to find the One Piece anime announcement, but just like in English for English people? English-speaking people such as myself? I kind of want to see that, because I feel like I'm saying certain things that I don't know the full details on. Also, we're almost at 100 likes. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just go to Pew Piece. But Pew Piece is just tweets. It's just tweets. Also, Pew Piece puts out spoilers, which I don't appreciate. So I don't really want to go there. I guess it's fine. I guess we leave it. Let's go to Archer's Twitter. All there. Nothing interesting, though. I guess I could just go to Archer's Twitter. I could go. I did see it all on Archer's Twitter, though. I already know everything, as far as I can tell. I wanted to see the actual stream so I can see it with subtitles and shit. Because they're just going to, like, Archer and Pew Piece are just going to give the gist of it. And no offense to them. Like, I'm sure they give the gist of it quite well, but it's not the full information, you know? I guess we just leave it as is. Okay. Let's pull up the episode. Here's the deal. Let's get it, because the stream crashed, which is my fault, let's get to 75 likes, and then from there we can watch. I just went to One Piece Twitter and used Google Translate. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, there was a full stream. It looks like it's a 37-minute long stream. Okay. In the meantime, I'm just going to pull it up just to show you guys, because I'm not going to actually react to this or anything like that. I'm just curious. Just want to see what it looks like a little bit. Just seeing what it looks like. Just a peek. Just a little peek. You wouldn't deprive me of just a look. Like a little peek, right? All right, let's see. Here we go. I'm just taking a look over here. All right? Just taking a look. So this is what it looks like now. Oh, shit. This looks a lot better. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so I saw that they had shadows and shit. This scene looks significantly polished. Hmm. The show, are we able to see any sort of changes in pacing? I wonder what they're going to call it. I don't know what this shit is. Okay. You guys can't really see it, so we're going to leave it. Okay. Yeah, let's get the stream likes to 75, and then we're ready to start. In the meantime, I'll find the episode. JWP, thanks for 5. Always good to see you, man. Yo, Mr. Morj, man, I probably missed it, but thoughts on One Piece anime hiatus, Oda taking a 2-week break, and you, Hunter x Hunter. All good things, in my opinion. I think from the top, right? One Piece anime, I think that's just the most undoubtedly good news. I understand that anime fans are devastated. They really, 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 really should not be, because it's just to make the anime better. And I remember people were just like so adamant that like this is just the best the One Piece anime can be. It really isn't, right? And we've all always known that that's not the case, and that people were just deluding themselves. I'm glad that reality has finally kicked in, and people can stop playing pretend and just acknowledge that, yeah, the One Piece anime is better. It's gonna be better if it could fucking take a break and just like actually like, instead of desperately trying to avoid catching up to the manga by stretching out every single fucking panel to ungodly amounts of time, like just actually just take a break. You know, take a break. Let the pacing get better. They can. I've thought the animation for the episodes that I watched recently are phenomenal. Right, the animation is really, really good. But just, you know, it maybe take some time off so you don't have to find new, like more and more creative ways to avoid catching up to the manga. You know, just take a break. So that's good for number one. Then number two, the what do you call? The One Piece manga itself taking a break. I think that's good just for my purposes, if that makes sense. And you'll see with the videos that have come out in the next couple weeks. I think you guys won't be disappointed. I'll just leave it at that. And from One Piece like writing perspective, I think it's good because we know that Oda took a long-ass break before Egghead. A lot of it was to work on the One Piece live action, but just in general, we can tell that the break helped because a lot of people loved Egghead Island and felt that it features some of the strongest writing in One Piece, right? So Elbaf being such an important arc, yeah, like let the man like a couple weeks break to really think through the entire plot of the arc. That seems important, and I hope that Oda kind of starts doing that at the start of every new arc. I think that, you know, before Laugh Tale, take a fucking month break, take 2 months, take however long he needs. And as for Hunter x Hunter, love the latest Hunter x Hunter chapter. The chapters before that were kind of not my favorite, but the ones that delved into the stuff going on below, lower levels of the boat. But the latest Hunter x Hunter chapter, perfect. Like, just draws me back in perfectly. So excited for the rest of Hunter x Hunter, this arc. JWP, thank you again for the 5. Also, for another 5. Also, hints for spoilers are out, so I'd be careful on Twitter if you don't want to get spoiled. Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's Monday, so it's already out. Usually it's like Tuesday or Wednesday that you got to start worrying about that sort of shit. The Senate, thanks to the 5. When the remake comes out, is there anything you miss from the OG? It'll be sad for me to see new voice actors and no more of the iconic OST. Those are the only 2 things. I won't say those are the only 2 things. I think the style, the art, the visual style of East Blue in One Piece, while I would never want that to be the style of the overall series, because it's just so, it just seems so, you know, old and antiquated, it feels very charming in the context of East Blue. So I think I'll miss seeing that style specifically for East Blue, the visual style, right? There's just a certain charm to that aesthetic that just fits. That fits what One Piece's early days really felt like. I don't know what WIT's visual style will look like. Maybe it'll be better. I mean, no, why am I saying that? We've seen somewhat of what it'll look like. I've yet to see in action, like full scenes and stuff, whether or not it'll feel better than East Blue did in the One Piece anime. But yeah, I think the voice actors, I'm going to be very biased. I straight up feel like it's impossible to top the voice actors. I cannot, at the very least, who's topping Luffy? Luffy's voice acting is just so powerful. It just covers the whole spectrum of what the character represents so well. It's beautiful. Yeah, and the OST, I love the One Piece OST. I'm not going to say it's like my favorite anime OST ever, but it's, you know, it's very near and dear to my heart. I think it'll be hard to top that. Yeah. Akash Panda is telling me don't watch the whole episode. Watch from 9:25 to 11:01, and then from 16:25 to 17:31. Is everyone in agreement with Akash Panda? Is this a correct recommendation? Power says he's not doing it for the manga though. He's doing it for the mid live action. But last time he also did it. It was kind of for both, right? Last time, or is it just for? Is it literally just for the live action? I also don't think the live action's mid. I like it. People are saying to watch the whole episode. I'll watch the whole episode for this one, because I think last time in the Garp versus Aokiji bit, right? That's what everybody told me to watch. Just watch the Garp versus Aokiji bit. I ended up watching the whole episode, and I thought the whole episode was really, really good. JP, thanks for the 10. It seems the network became more flexible with One Piece. It's coming back on a new time slot also. So they really were the reason the anime was constrained for so long, forced into year-long new episodes. Okay, so it was the network. I guess the network were the real bad guys all along. Yeah, I'll watch the whole episode. JWP says the whole episode is extremely slow compared to the last episode. All right, I'll still watch the whole episode. That's the point of the stream. We're gonna watch the whole episode. That's the point of the stream. I wish I could understand Japanese sometimes, just so I knew what people are talking about here in this thing. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, let me find this shit. One Piece episode 1122. Also, let's get the stream likes up to 100 because we're almost there. We climbed our way back. Thank you very, very, very much. How do I normally find this shit? Where am I normally finding this? Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah. All right, we got it. How do I make this? What the fuck? Come on, man. All right, there we go. All right. Am I screen sharing? At least my version of screen sharing. Yep, everyone can hear. You guys can hear me. There should be no desktop audio. We should be good. Let me raise my audio a little bit. This should be good here, somewhere around this point. Maybe even a little bit more. That should be good. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? We're starting the reaction. Let's get the stream likes up to 100 real quick while the OST, or while the opening plays. Just because we're right there. Oh, god damn it. Why is this still here? Alright, we're good. I haven't seen the opening in a minute, so I'm watching it for fun. Is it different? No, this is the same. This opening's just so good, it's insane. I wonder what it would feel like if you went back to, like, 1999 or whatever and showed somebody who's watching the first One Piece opening this opening. Like, the first opening is still amazing, but a large part of it is nostalgia. So imagine if they saw this. They'd be so confused about the story, how insane everything gets, the animation style. All these characters. Great depiction of the empty throne. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not missing any supers real quick. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, continuing. So I wonder when this One Piece remake situation starts catching up. Let's assume that it kept. Let's make an assumption here, right? So Toei's cleaning up the anime. Let's make an assumption that it catches up through all the New World arcs, including catches up through Egghead Island. Some people might argue Egghead doesn't need it. I don't know. Let's pretend that it gets through. Wano definitely fucking needs it because it's fucking half a chapter per episode, right? Egghead, same thing, but a lot of people argue that Egghead has better filler, right? I'm inclined to agree that Egghead has some really good filler. Like, we saw those Garp Aokiji scenes that they included. So I'm wondering, because in Dragon Ball Z Kai, from what I watched of it, if I recall correctly, they cut everything that was not canon to the manga, right? Or they cut most things that were not canon to the manga. I think they left a lot of fight stuff alone. I don't remember exactly. Do you think Toei is going to be cutting a lot of, like, even if people like the filler scenes? Like, would this scene make it to that cut? You know? Real quick. Oh, JWP, thanks for the 10. You see Sandman's tweet about how One Piece is getting its own editor-in-chief for Shonen Jump? Basically getting its own One Piece department plus New Fishman Island stuff. One Piece is the moneymaker. Dude, Shonen Jump must be terrified of the prospect of One Piece ending. Because it's just, there's been successful series that have come and gone, obviously, in the meantime, right? Like, Demon Slayer at points was more popular manga-wise than One Piece. I think Jujutsu Kaisen as well, right? Attack on Titan, I think. Like, those things have come and gone. But they haven't had staying power, which is what One Piece has, right? And just from, like, any sort of business perspective, the value of consistent long-term value is the most important thing for any sort of, like, business asset or product that you're putting out, right? So even if something is making more money in the long term, if you're finding that you have to, like, there's a high like the cycle for that product or these newer lines of products, right? Because every manga is a product that Shonen Jump is putting out. If Shonen Jump is realizing that they're like Bleach went 600 chapters or something like that, right? Naruto went 700 chapters or something like that, right? That's the equivalent of 2x a lot of these newer series that are coming and going, right? Having long-term mainstays that are driving revenue is just more valuable overall for business stability than, like, it's cool to have, like, a Demon Slayer suddenly pop off in sales, but, like, in general, any large business is not thinking, oh, I had a good year, like, that's amazing. I had 2 good years, that's amazing. Like, it's all about long-term consistency. So yeah, like, I think a lot of people think a little short-sighted when they say that, well, these other manga pass up One Piece in sales here and there. It's like, okay, but it doesn't matter if they're doing that in the short term, at least not for the magazine itself. Like, it's good, but it's just peaky, spiky, right? That's scary for businesses, and they're just, like, constantly, it puts them in a state where they're constantly having to scramble for the next thing, and there's effort that goes into that, right? Effort, worry. It changes how they're able to allocate resources going forward. What most businesses want above all else is like several long-term stable lines of product that they can keep putting out that are guaranteed to give them a certain base. And then on top of that, getting like the peaks and the spikes, that's really, really good. But right now, it must be terrifying that One Piece has been the only consistently successful, like top tier successful manga that they've had for God knows how long, right? It must be terrifying at the they must be terrified of the prospect of this series ending. Because then the landscape that's ahead for them after that, unless one of these newer series really sticks in a way that it's going to make the 600, 700 chapter marathon, the landscape ahead for Toei after One Piece, or sorry, not Toei, Shonen Jump for after One Piece is just like very scary stuff. Where like every year they're not going to know what's coming next. Like, is Undead Unluck gonna spike in sales this next year, or do we have to fucking cancel it? Like, we're like this new manga Kagurabachi, right? Like, is it gonna be another big hit for a couple years, or is it gonna fucking tank soon, right? Is it gonna be like My Hero, where it's really popular for a few years and then then it kind of becomes like a declining asset? Like, that's very scary for any business. Anyway, moving on. Oh wait, sorry, there's one more super. Let me catch it real quick. JP, thanks for the 5. Robbins, I want to live moment. And Aces, thank you for loving me voice acting moments were lightning in a bottle moments. Those voice cracks won't be remade. 100%. And it's funny you say I want to live, because like for me, it's like right up there, right with it in that same arc, in the same episode / chapter at the very least, same like right in that same scene is Luffy declaring war on the world government, and he's saying like I'd be happy to live with that or whatever. That's an amazing line with so much emotion. And then for me, the single best piece of voice acting in One Piece, it's actually my favorite shonen moment ever. It's Luffy and Usopp's final exchange where it's Luffy and Usopp's final exchange where like Usopp's yelling at Luffy like defeat him and we'll all go home together, and Luffy's yelling back like no matter what. That's like, in terms of classic traditional shonen storytelling, to me that's the peak of that. Like the peak of, power, friendship, do anything to protect your friends or whatever, right? Now I'm thinking about like Ichigo's like Ichigo's lame-ass versions of that. Try to compare any shit Ichigo's ever said to that moment, where Usopp's like, wait, we'll go back together, and like Luffy's just yelling like with so much fucking raw passion in his voice. Like it legitimately feels like you're watching a fucking war zone, and these characters are like Luffy is screaming from like some really fucking primal, like just life or death, just like his fucking soul he's screaming basically, like no matter what. Like that's my actually favorite voice acting moment in One Piece, period. I don't think I can imagine any voice actor topping that. Jolly DJ Joestar, thanks for the 2. Kai cut History of Trunks, so One Piece ain't safe. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Atrema, yeah. Love it. Alright. I can see why Akash was saying I can skip this shit, but maybe it's important for Kobe's character shit later. I know that the things I know about this episode, because my editor told me, he watches the One Piece anime now. He said that there's more character shit that's added for Coby. Oh. I actually straight up forgot this shit. This is good. This is good, because this is a canon scene. It's not like it's making it up. Like, this is canon character writing. But it's pacing it out in a way that is going to carry more weight. For what it's worth, my editor said that this episode is definitely better than the manga chapter. So I can see why. I like this. The Blackbeard scene is canon? I don't remember that scene. My bad. Oh shit. They're out here giving Coby future sight. I like this. Oh, this is great. Helmeppo should be able to cut bomb. I do feel like in the raid, Helmeppo got kind of. He got kind of the short end of the stick. He got done a little dirty, cause you know he's the one that we've been seeing with Coby all this time. It would have been nice for him to get a better moment. Like he just in the manga he seemed useless in the raid. The anime didn't really change anything. Like helping cut bombs or hold off fodder, that's like East Blue Zoro type stuff. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. That was really good. If I hadn't already seen Galaxy Impact, I'd be freaking out about that even more. But my god, they just make Garp fucking Superman. Garp is essentially Superman in this, like in the way the anime's depicted him in Egghead, which is pretty cool. People have talked about the Coby being Deku type thing, but it feels like Garp is like All Might, you know? Yeah. Coby just casually using Geppo is so insane. What? So I did not realize that they were gonna do Coby like, because okay, so I've scrolled Twitter, so like obviously you see little bits and pieces of clips. So I saw like the start. I've seen the wind up, or not I've seen the initial start of the punch already, like when I'm scrolling, but I made sure not to see the full thing. The full effect, like the full effect of what they did. Like I'll put it this way, if I was an anime only, I think the scene was really, really, really good. I think the scene was really, really, really well done. If I'm just saying though, it's kind of insane. Like it's basically like that looks like it's bigger than Garp's Galaxy Impact straight up, which I don't think it's like. This is a. I want to be like so straight up. So straight up, the anime just does not give a shit. Because straight up, the full radius of like straight up haki that comes out, one, it seems very blatantly to be Conqueror's haki with the way the anime does it, right? Anime's interpretation blatantly Conqueror's haki, right? I think Coby is a character that would make sense for Conqueror's haki, so I don't think that's crazy. I think it's possible, honestly, Impact is Conqueror's haki. I think that it's likely Oda is fine just skipping certain steps as to how a character gets to advanced Conqueror's haki punches and stuff like that. That's whatever. But the way the anime does the scale of this is just objectively straight up the largest scale Conqueror's haki attack we've ever seen. Period. There's nothing really close. Because I know the anime goes hard on certain things, right? Before this, the biggest thing that they did was Garp's Galaxy Impact. This scale is wider. Like, it's literally... You can pause it. It looks like... It's literally like a fucking lightning... Like, haki lightning thunderstorm that's radiating across the entire island. This is fucking insane. It seems bigger than Galaxy Impact by like a good shot, like not even close. Like this is like we've never seen any character do legitimately like island-sized haki lightning. Like island-sized haki lightning just radiating across an entire island in this way. Like this isn't just like sparks or some shit. This isn't even just like lightning that happens to go out like across an island or like it's hard to explain. Like this is like literally lightning that just radiates outward across an entire island and looks fucking gigantic in relation to the island. The anime basically decided that Coby has the largest Conqueror's haki, like largest scale Conqueror's haki attack that we've ever seen. This is kind of insane. If I was an anime only, I would in this moment. If I was an anime only, in this moment, I would be like, Coby is stronger than Zoro. Coby would fucking murder Aokiji. Like, these are the things I would be thinking right now if I was an anime only. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Kaido wasn't doing this shit on the roof. Kaido's biggest Conqueror's haki attack on the roof does not look like this. This is fucking bananas. What the fuck is this? I don't even know what this is, man. Oh my god. It's still a really good scene, and it's a, anime adaptation. Anime is gonna focus on hype more than anything else, so it's like understandable. But it's kind of like, this kind of shows they've got no limits. By the way, like, because we're looking at the anime's interpretation of this, I have to call this conqueror's haki because that's not armament haki. Nobody's. That's not a thing. Nobody's armament haki. That's not what armament haki does. It doesn't look like that. That's not armament haki. That's not a thing. Armament haki cannot do anything like that. That has to be, by the anime's interpretation, they decided Coby is conqueror's haki, and it's also going to be the largest conqueror's haki attack we've ever had in the story. Man, I just wish okay, the what? Nah, I'll save my thoughts for this. I wish Helmet Poe had something more, but obviously that's like in the manga he doesn't. So maybe Helmet. Okay, Helmet Poe's saving Coby. That's cool. Did he do that in the manga too? I forget. Maybe he did. Forget. I'll respond to supers shortly. Man, everything really worked out for Coby here, huh? Good for Coby, man. What a happy ending for Coby. Is this going to show how the fight with Garp goes down? Or it's just showing he's captured? This is a really good way to wrap this around for this episode. This is a very well done episode. This episode tells a really solid story just in and of itself. I think what I love about this episode, at least from what I've seen, let me finish it out. That episode was genuinely phenomenal. because you could take this episode told a full story in and of it told a full story in and of itself, because you could take just this episode, show it to somebody who has never watched One Piece, and it's a full story from start to finish just on its own, because it opens with establishing what the problem is, right? You understand what the problem right off the bat, which is that these pirates have captured this hero Coby, and then it gets into, you know, this moral, like the lesson that's being taught by like the classroom lesson. You establish the characters, you understand the primary theme, and then it just walks through so many flashbacks of like how far these characters have come, the lesson that's trying to be imparted, all of that, and then the payoff of Coby actually getting them out of there, everybody celebrating, and then the bittersweet ending that the beginning of the episode foreshadowed, which is the leaving behind of the old and the saving the future and moving forward with the new, and that being the right way of doing things, that's protecting the future, right? So it's tragic, but also very hopeful. It's bittersweet, but ultimately it is a very empowering story. I think that the way that they framed this whole episode was just phenomenal, and it's so good coming off the back of the last episode. Like, seriously, this whole Hachinosu raid, it was really, really fucking great in the manga. Thank you. It was obviously really great in the manga, but piecing together, I will probably sit down at some point and just on my own watch each of the Hachinosu raid episodes, because it's like, what, probably 4 episodes total or something like that. That would be a fun watch. I would just watch all of them together, because just on their own, they tell a fantastically compelling story. Because, like, the thing that was left out of this episode, obviously, is the entire Aokiji part of the story, because that was last episode, right? So just this triumvirate of characters, this trifecta of characters, and what it does with each of them, I think, yeah, it's just communicated really, really, really elegantly through the anime. Yeah, this is just a masterclass. This whole Hachinosu raid, it's just, seriously, hats off to the production team for this. This is, like, actual beautiful storytelling. Like, this episode you could just show to somebody who's never seen the series. Again, they would understand so much of what makes One Piece great. And I think the whole Hachinosu raid from start to finish makes, like, it's not like a mini movie, but, like, if you pieced it together, it's almost like a fully narratively tight, emotionally resonant, thematically poignant, mini movie with, like, compelling character storylines, character arcs, the dynamics. This is just so fucking good. Seriously, what a way to end it. I don't know, like, this is really, 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 really good. 5 episodes total, Sakash Panda. I'm gonna try and not talk shit about the anime after I've praised it so much. I will say at the very least, this episode and then the previous episode with Garp and Aokiji, even though it's like dragging a full chapter out to an episode, the way the anime did it and the way that they figured out how to pad it out to fill that runtime felt very creative and properly done in a way that elevated the episode rather than made it feel like awkwardly paced out or forced extended pacing. So yeah, you know, like, 5 episodes. I don't know if I'd sit down and watch 5 episodes of this, but I don't know. Yeah, still, overall. Isis1155 says Garp is stronger than Aokiji in my opinion. I mean, I think so too, but it's just like, if you were to look at the anime, then I almost feel like the anime went too hard in disrespecting Aokiji here over the course of this fight. Because there's only one moment in the fight that the anime tries to make it seem like Aokiji's on par with Garp, which is when they clash. And that's the same in the manga, but then I guess the difference is that the anime, because it's like going hard on the effects and everything, every other moment, like the manga already had every other interaction with Garp winning, but the anime like piles it on even further, because they extend the scenes, they add more flashiness, they add more Garp cockiness and Aokiji being shocked and surprised and stuff like that. So if you're an anime only, you come away from this feeling like, one, Garp is fucking Superman. Two, Aokiji and Garp isn't close. Garp's way stronger. Three, you're like, fucking Coby is like the next coming of Kobe's the next fucking Joy Boy is what you end with. Like, thank God Kobe's not not fucking trying to get the One Piece. I mean, actually, he actually is at the end of Egghead, kind of. But yeah, you come away from this being like, man, that Goma Goma no Mi, it picked the wrong user. Fucking Coby, he just pops out of the time skip, throwing like Luffy needed how many arcs to be doing that shit that he's doing with Advanced Conqueror's Haki? Coby pops out of the post time skip, just launching island destroying Conqueror's Haki level attacks. Yeah. But just I'm really fucking happy I watched that one, man. I'm really happy I watched that one. That was really fucking good. I think Egghead overall has had my favorite. I've been the most impressed with the One Piece anime ever with Egghead for sure. And these last couple, the Hachinosu raid in particular has just been next level. And Coby especially, this episode, just one of the best episodes. Like to tell a full story like that, to take the manga material, stay so true to the manga material from start to finish, and just flesh it out into such a clearly full circle, well-rounded story in just this episode is just amazing. Just amazing. And then if you were to piece it together with the previous Hachinosu episodes, the whole story it tells is very, very layered and morally nuanced, and with a lot of fantastically deep character writing and character dynamics there. Really, really love that shit. Okay, I'm happy I watched that. Let me catch up on supers real quick. Sorry. REE, thanks for the 10. Egghead is Usopp's arc to deal with being self-critical. Starts by destroying mirror item. Oh, so you're saying Elbaf is the arc that Usopp will deal with being self-critical. Starts by destroying a mirror. Item that equals self-analyzation, but fails to penetrate. He needs to fix wounds that are deeper. That's a really, really good point. I don't know if Oda necessarily thought that deeply about it, but like it's Oda, so like it's possible that he did. Yeah, the arc opening with Usopp, like Usopp's first shot being against a mirror. That's actually that's a phenomenal point. I did not think about that at all. That's a RWE, big props to that. I did not think about that, and that's for your first super ever, so I appreciate that. It's a great point. Yokai Gota, thanks a lot. My favorite anime voice acting is pretty much all of Attack on Titan. Also, any advice on picks to put on Hinge? Trying to get a girlfriend or boyfriend. It's been long enough. So let me piece that out. First of all, I will say this. Okay, people might get upset with me. WWW says the weekly anime. BTW, the quality is top notch. Just imagine how good Egghead is going to be and the One Piece anime is going to be when it gets its breaks. Right, like this break period that it's getting. Because if every episode is comparable to these Hachinosu episodes, I don't even know. Like One Piece I will be able to proudly say that One Piece is the best anime out there at that point, instead of just faking it like a lot of One Piece fans do. But piecing out what you said. Okay, so one thing that I personally, people might get upset with me, but the voice acting for this, I don't think I've ever vibed with Kobe's. I don't think I vibe with Kobe's voice actor that much. I love Coby the character. I did not feel like I was waiting for the honesty impact moment. Obviously, I think his voice actor is fine for his more. I think his voice actor is good for his more squirmy kind of still timid Coby moments. I was hoping for something a little bit more powerful when it came to Honesty Impact. I just think that the range I don't think is quite there for me. I don't know. Are people okay with that? Okay, I was scared that people were gonna tear me a new one for that, because I do love everything else about this episode. The Kobe's actual yelling of Honesty Impact that didn't actually move me that much. So just throwing that out there. Okay. And I do think that slightly the climax could have been even stronger if I felt for me, Luffy's jet Gatling is so powerful largely because of Luffy's own screams over that final moment, you know. So that's the one thing. But that's just because you brought up Attack on Titan's voice acting. I also think Attack on Titan's voice acting is very good. I haven't finished out watching Attack on Titan. Still need to do that long enough. Are you supposed to... If you're a dude trying to get a boyfriend, I don't know exactly if the types of pics you're supposed to put are different. So I'm going to leave that alone. All right. I'm going to say my understanding of like a portfolio of pictures that would be attractive to women, as far as I know, my understanding. So from my understanding, in general, you want the first and most obvious is like people like you need to show what you look like, right? So good, clear photo of yourself smiling. I think some guys are under the impression that they shouldn't be smiling; they should be looking very serious or something in their photos. From everything I've heard from girls, the smile is important because they need to feel like they can trust you, right? You need to come off as trustworthy. You need one good photo of you smiling or whatever. And then beyond that, you would need at least one photo showing you with friends. Don't try and include other girls in your pictures and stuff because that becomes weird. Just show yourself with friends, right? So those two are like absolute necessities. Like one clear photo of what you look like face-wise, smiling. One clear photo that shows that you have a social life, friends or something like that. If you don't have friends, you need to fucking fake it or something like that. Like, participate in something. Maybe solve that part of your life first. Participate in something, make some friends, check that box off before we move on, right? So those are two things for sure. You probably need at least one thing that's like full body, like not literally full body head to toe, but like just what you look like in general, not just your face, right? So that's 3 photos right there. And then the last 3 are ones that are more miscellaneous. But the important part of them that I understand is like you're projecting a vibe, right? So you should be projecting basically, one, what is your personality like? So are you smiling, friendly, etc. throughout these? That does help you make you look like more likable, personable, right? But then also, what are the contexts of these photos, right? So, as I understand, women kind of like when they're getting the portfolio of the guy, they're kind of imagining their life hypothetically with the guy, right? So if they see that you've got a lot of travel pics and stuff like that, they're kind of imagining, like, it's not a very conscious thing, it's more subconscious, but they're imagining kind of like, okay, this is the vibe that I'm signing up for if I'm matching with this guy, right? Like, so I don't have a Hinge account anymore, but like when I did, I had there's a picture of me driving a little a friend of a friend when I visited San Diego owned a boat. So they let each of us like drive it for a little bit. So like one of the pics is me pretending to drive a boat. Pretending as in I drove it for like 20 seconds. But it looks like, oh, this is a fun guy who does stuff like that. One's of me hiking in a really interesting area, which is, was it Yosemite or the Rockies, right? Stuff like that. One's of me in a Renaissance fair, because you also want to be authentic. So while a Renaissance fair wasn't like the most outside, like wasn't the most cool thing or whatever, right? It still reflects that like I have, more nerdy interest, and that's the sort of thing I like to go, and that would seem attractive to people who are interested in that sort of thing, right? So in general, like you should have a couple photos that basically show what you look like clearly, at least one photo that shows that you're social and know other people. And then the rest of your photos should kind of be like an idea, like a window into your life, or at least the more attractive, interesting aspects of your life. That's basically it. Yeah, go for that. Women do not like fishing pics. I know that. Anyway. Continuing on. The Senate, thanks for the 2. How many One Piece anime arcs have you seen completely? Every arc through pre-time skip. Because I caught... No, not Thriller Bark. Reason being, so I caught up to the One Piece anime around the time that Enies Lobby Water 7 was going on. So that was the arc that I basically finished out between reading manga chapters and then going back to watch the anime episodes, then reading manga chapters, so getting ahead, going back to watch the episodes of it. oscillating back and forth. Then once Thriller Bark hit, I basically became manga only. I tried to keep going back to watch the anime episodes, but it just became a slog to keep doing that. And Thriller Bark's early parts aren't that interesting, so I kind of just became manga only. Like, I stopped going back to, religiously watch every anime episode as it was put out. And then basically, yeah, so from Thriller Bark on, it was manga only, okay? Then one of my roommates in college, who I've mentioned before, the one person I was able to get into anime out of my friend group, I got him onto One Piece, all right? So, and he skipped a whole bunch of arcs, and because he was just interested in getting to cool fights and stuff like that. So he skipped a whole bunch of arcs. So, like, he kind of skipped around between Alabasta through Enies Lobby and shit like that. And when he really finally started to tune in and watch regularly was when he was watching Sabaody and Marineford, largely because I pressured him to be like, these arcs you're going to want to just don't skip these, just watch them start to finish. And that's when he became hooked on the series, okay? So he would have it on TV in college, and I would get to relive those story arcs. But for me, it was also fresh because I was getting to watch it through the anime for the first time, whereas before I'd only really read it through the manga. I obviously went back and watched, clips and scenes of stuff from Sabaody and Marineford as those anime episodes came out, but I'd never sat down and watched the full arcs. So it was an interesting experience because I hadn't truly watched the One Piece anime episode after episode for some time. So it was funny I was sitting down to watch, Sabaody and Marineford with him, and Impel Down. Sabaody, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford. Amazon Lily, he skipped, basically, because it was like the cringe ass. Like, I was kind of bracing for Amazon Lily because he loved Sabaody, and then once Amazon Lily came around, I was basically like, this is gonna be the weird Japanese shit that is stereotypical, and it's gonna be as bad as you imagine it to be. And so he put on a couple episodes of it. I was not in the room. I just know that he basically skipped it. He's just skipped it. So I just had to tell him what happens in Amazon Lily. It is what it is. So Impel Down, Marineford, Sabaody, right? Now, for me, it was an interesting experience because, like, I got to feel the hype of those events happening again. And the anime does play it up a lot, and the music and all of that helps. But I found myself, like, being hit by the reminder of the pacing once again. Because, like, you know that feeling when you're, like, trying to get somebody else into a show, and you're, like, you're invested, but you're also like, you're invested in the series, but you're also like kind of like very conscious of like, is this other person enjoying it? Like, like it's not getting too boring, right? Like, because like he was not an anime person at this point, right? So this is all very much like on walking a thin tightrope of like, he's been switching between different shows. He's been watching some One Piece now, and now he's finally sitting down and like actually watching an arc, but he's gonna be happy to, like, he'd happily drop it and pick up something else if he lost his interest, right? So, and I want to finally watch somebody I know like experience this, right? So for me, it was just like the anime, it was so difficult because like even the good arcs like Sabaody, Impel Down, Marineford, they have sections. It's easy to forget, but they have long sections where just like something is dragged out, or it's like some really random filler scene, or it's like almost a close to full bullshit episode, or like it's just some awkwardly slow pacing or something like that. And it would happen in Impel Down. Like Impel Down would take like a gag, like a random gag scene of like Buggy and Mr. 3 or whatever trying to blow up a wall like with cannons to get out or something like that. And it would keep going back to this filler scene like 4 or 5 times or something like that for no reason. Just to pad out the episode. And it would take the kind of slow episodes and turn them into like damn near like unwatchable episodes where your eyes glaze over. So the anime, like, I have a love-hate relationship with those arcs in the anime because they were hype and exciting to watch, but like it was a hard reality check for me, which is just like the anime is shittily paced, right? And that was pre-time skip. Post-time skip, it just becomes unwatchable because I have actually tried to watch post-time skip sections at random points, and like Fishman Island unwatchable, Dressrosa unwatchable, Punk Hazard unwatchable, shit like that. Even Wano, I finally gone and watched like Wano fights and stuff like that, and the fights are fine but really choppy in themselves. The highlight moments are amazing, but it's not all about highlight moments. Justin Holland, thanks for being a Pirate King tier member for 24 months. Nice to see Luffy showing growth with his power and that awakening. Also, Justin, we got your email, so you should be getting an email back soon enough regarding your bundle. But thank you for the support, man. Luffy showing growth with his powers, and that awakening harnesses the full potential of his fruit. Hoping to see him multiply himself like Cracker and Katakuri could, and more. I don't know if Luffy can multiply himself. That'd be interesting. Because Cracker doesn't literally multiply himself. Even Katakuri, it's not quite multiplying himself. But, I see, like, multiplying, like, Katakuri multiplied his arms and stuff like that. I thought you meant making clones. Maybe. Yeah, Luffy making multiple arms, that should be, like, easily in the realm of possibility now. Because he can so freely manipulate his body. So that's an interesting point. JWP, thanks for the 2. Coby got Future Sight and Vance Conqueror's haki now. He's Yonko level for real. Yeah, now the anime can't really show, like, any sort of scene of a character imagining a bad future, because it's basically interpreted as Future Sight. So I don't think the anime meant to give him Future Sight. It's One Piece, and that's an ability that exists, so now we're going to think that. Umair, thanks for the 5. I think the point of Battleship Bags is to be capable of this feat without Haki or Devil Fruit. I think it's mostly pure brute strength, same as Garp. I don't think so. I think Battleship Bags, my interpretation is Battleship Bags is more symbolic than anything. I don't think there's any One Piece characters that are doing that through pure brute strength. At all, you know, like I think that'd be kind of insane, because like Zoro with haki, like Zoro needed haki to be able to do something like cut Pika, and Pika is like a tiny little fraction of the size of what all of Pizarro is, right? So, and it's not like these characters are getting that much stronger brute strength wise. All their training is haki, right? So it'd be kind of weird if Kobe's just able to do that with pure punching force strength, and that's like way above. Like we literally see haki involved in Kobe's punch in the manga itself. It's just exaggerated more in the anime, but we know that haki is involved with these. There's no characters that can do this with just pure brute strength. I know you're saying mostly pure brute strength, but I really don't think it's mostly pure brute strength, because like again with Garp, we see Galaxy Impact and Galaxy Divide, and the thing that stands out is the amount of haki that's being shown, right? It's not just the physical force of his punch. The thing that stands out that's crazy is like, holy shit, there's so much haki everywhere, you know? Attilio, thanks for the 2. Next week's episode will be directed by Ishitani. Isn't there no episode next week? Are you trolling? I'm confused. Is there an episode next week? I thought it goes on break after this week. Are you trolling? Ice96, thanks for the 5. Coby doing that in front of the... in front of the ladies. Now he's gonna go home and bang Akainu's daughter. Still yet to be confirmed if that's the case, but it would be really fucking funny if that is. Akash Panda says Zunisha could do it with pure brute strength. Alright, fine. Zunisha could do it with pure brute strength. You're right. Actually, I don't know. Can Zunisha destroy islands with pure brute strength? Like island size rock? Because Zunisha destroyed a fleet of ships, but that's not quite the same thing, because those are like little toys to Zunisha made out of wood. Dragon Universe says, is this a second stream? Yeah, because the first stream, the computer ran into issues, had to restart it. The fan letter. The fan letter... Are the fan letters canon at all? Are the fan letters canon whatsoever? I should clarify. This is continued. Part 2. I'll say part 2. Oh, Umair says Morj. No, I think I got your super, right? I got your super. Unless there's something I'm missing. Bassam El Madawi, thanks for the 5. If Studio WIT makes the pre-time skip and Toei remakes post-time skip, maybe the anime will have a finalized definitive version that's consistent. Yeah. That's actually something I discussed earlier in the stream, which is that it'll be kind of cool. In the next couple of years, we'll be seeing the post-time skip being cleaned up by Toei, and then the pre-time skip getting a revamp with WIT. And one of the things I was saying was just that, like, pre-time skip One Piece, the thing that stands out is just the animation looks dated. Post-time skip, we have really good pieces of animation, but the thing that really stands out that feels bad is the pacing. So if both studios can independently be kind of fixing that, then that's great. At the same time, I get the sense that WIT is just going to go the distance and redo all of the One Piece anime. But if Toei is simultaneously doing the post-time skip, I think it means that we'll get to, a more definitively done version of the anime much sooner than we would have hoped. I think the only problem would basically be like, let's say WIT finishes out the pre-time skip, Toei finishes out the post-time skip. It's tricky because, like, even then, if you want to go through and watch all of One Piece, the thing that'll be jarring is that pre-time skip is going to have different voice actors, different OST, things like that, that might make it feel, like, kind of jarring, and just might a totally different, like, directorial philosophy, like, in terms of the style of the show, that might make it feel a little jarring getting into the post-time skip, where it's back to Toei doing it. So it's interesting what it could be like. Pre-time skip didn't age that bad. I think, again, like I mentioned this earlier, it kind of did. It retains its, like, East Blue and stuff, it really has charm, but it has charm, but, like, again, like, recently, like, my girlfriend's at Little Garden, and she's kind of taking a pause, because it's freaking slow, and there's not a lot of movement in the animation very often, and it's just, like, not the pacing slow, like, the pacing is slow as well, but, like, the animation movement feels slow and fairly basic. It's not the most visually it feels just very old and dated. I think from my recollection, the point in One Piece pre-time skip that it finally starts to feel more, like, the action feels more fluid, the action feels more vibrant, more modern, right, is Water 7 Enies Lobby, right? I think that's when I personally think that that's the peak of One Piece's anime in terms of, like, it has good choreographed action, like, good fast-paced choreographed action, the pacing isn't terrible yet, and the animation and aesthetic is good, right, good enough, right? I think that's the overall, I think that's the sweet spot for me as far as the One Piece anime goes. Thank you, Akash. Sorry, missed Kunal Dashawal's super. Let's see. Oh, I missed a super from last stream. I was like, I don't really see anything here. Let me answer this while I'm looking for that. The Senate plans on playing Sparking Zero. No, I don't think so. As far as I know, does Sparking Zero, is that an anime that involves, or not anime, a video game that involves, is that a video game that involves, like, you're swapping out multiple characters, like, in the game? You know what I mean? Like the previous Dragon Ball Fighter Z, like, whatever the fuck that was. Like, you kind of swap out different fighters, because I don't like doing that personally. I don't enjoy that. If I'm being honest, in fighting games, I prefer simplifying the number of variables and getting down to, like, I want each fight to feel like rock, paper, scissors, where the options are more limited. Kunal Dashawal, thanks a lot. Yo, Morj, I finally got a date this Saturday and life suddenly makes sense. Congrats, man. Good for you. Also, do you think we get a clash between Red Haired and Cross Guild now? Hey, props to Kunal. I'm happy for you, man. Clash between Red Haired and Cross Guild now. I don't know, because Cross Guild is more so going after the Marines and everything like that, and the Red Haired Pirates they've not really talked about Cross Guild ever. They've taken action against the Straw Hats. They've been keeping an eye on the Blackbeard Pirates. Red Haired and Cross Guild has no connection unless Cross Guild decides to go after the Red Haired Pirates to get their road poneglyphs, because now Buggy wants them to go after the One Piece. But going after the Red-Haired Pirates, well, they're the hardest mark out of all of the Yonko crews, so I think that would be a bad move. So I think something, like, it would be a cool twist if it's revealed that that's what the Red-Haired Pirates and Cross Guild are up to in the background, going against each other. But I don't see anything in the moment that would suggest that, like, they've decided to fight each other. Shattered Glass, thanks a lot. Any plans on covering Don manga? No, because I don't read the series. I will probably start reading the series if the anime keeps my interest enough. Kurakami Najima says Shanks and Buggy and Shanks and Mihawk. That's true. There's definitely personal connections between the two crews. I just don't know if plot-wise there's anything that's suggested just yet that they're set to meet. But character-wise, there could be good reason I think Cross Guild might have more. Like, I think because Buggy, I don't think Shanks thinks about Buggy that much, but I think that Buggy might, like, he was literally thinking about Shanks when he was deciding, I'm going to go after the One Piece. So maybe Buggy has something to prove to Shanks or wants to encounter Shanks again. So maybe there's an interaction there. Akash Panda says, read the other Myth Supers from last stream, if any. You're right, I shouldn't have closed that tab just yet. Jensen Peters, thanks a lot. I'm reading Berserk and now I have depression. Yeah, Berserk can do that to you. It's not a very uplifting series. I would say that it gets brighter as the story goes on. All the recent arcs, perhaps not. I would say the Conviction arc is more positive, and then Falcon of the Millennium Empire gets more positive. Like has more positive vibes. Fantasia, like the Elf arc, I think at least for the beginning parts of it, more positive. Let me see this previous stream. I think I caught the ones from the previous stream. Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't catch a couple. I didn't catch... The hell? From Uwu, no, we covered this. From Luke D. Ferdinando says, what does Luffy full Zoan form look like? I don't know if his operates in that same vein where he's got a full Zoan form. I don't know if that's his thing. I think this might be the full Zoan form. Like, he looks like Nika is Nika here. Some Zoans are kind of weird in that sense, in that, like, Marco has a full Zoan form we've seen, but it's also kind of similar to, like, his hybrid form is basically the same thing. Like, his hybrid form is weird in that it kind of just seems like a... Sorry, it just seems like... Like, it seems like his... Like, what is his Zoan form and what's his human form? It just blends together almost. Such that his hybrid form is kind of vague. It's kind of like Marco's always in Phoenix mode, even when he's a human, right? In a sense. Luffy seems kind of similar in being an outlier among Zoans in that, like... He's always rubber, even when he's not in his main form. And then, I don't really know what his hybrid form is exactly. I think he might not have a full Zoan form in that sense. How people are thinking about Shanks versus Mihawk. Alright, yeah, all cross-guild red-haired pirates discussions are going to come down to Shanks and Mihawk. Here's the thing. I think with Shanks and Mihawk, it's just that Cross-Guild, I feel like, needs more firepower to take on the red-haired pirates. Because Shanks and Mihawk, sure, that's like, we all know that that's going to be, that's a good fight, right? They're obviously, like, on the same level in some capacity, right? Crocodile, who knows how strong he is. Maybe he's Ben Beckman's level, who knows? Maybe. At this point, post-time skip with some training, right? The problem is after that, it's just like the Cross-Guild, they don't have jack shit, right? They don't have a Yasop. They don't have a Lucky Roo. They don't have any of those guys. So my thought is that if we see Cross-Guild next, maybe it's them going after if we see Cross-Guild next, maybe it's them going after Weevil or something and intercepting Green Bull. Who knows? Yeah, see, like, it's Cross-Guild versus Red-Hood Pirates. It's not about Shanks versus Mihawk. It's like the Slith Ice says, Cross-Guild would get smoked. The crew would get smoked. JWP, thanks for the 5. Shanks is either going to be at Elbaf or going after Blackbeard, or maybe both. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Shanks is not there at the start of the arc, because I feel like starting Elbaf off with Shanks there would potentially be, like, it takes too much attention, whereas I imagine that Oda will want to establish stuff about the setting, the island's culture, some of the side characters, like the giants that are going to be there. If you have Shanks there from the start, it's just like the story then has to bend towards like Luffy and Shanks' meeting and like Usopp and Yasop's meeting and stuff like that. It becomes harder to flesh out, I assume, the other things that Oda would want to set up for the arc. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Crocodile's got shit on Ben Beckman, but we don't know how strong Oda has just like Oda can have decided to do anything with Crocodile post time skip. Like fucking Coby is out here like fucking blowing up islands and stuff like that with haki, you know, after 2 years. So obviously Crocodile's not quite the same, but my point is simply that with a time skip, you can, for certain characters, like certain characters who had kind of plateaued or were pre-time skip level, like a Lucci, like Coby, not plateaued. I'm just saying, like, there's certain characters that were like first half of the Grand Line characters, right? And some of them are like up and coming characters like a Coby. Some are characters who still haven't hit their prime like Lucci. Some are characters who like had lost their way like Crocodile, right? Like that batch of characters, if you say that, okay, now they're going to become strong enough to be in the new world, now you're opening up a shit ton of possibility for growth for them that you can kind of write whatever, you know? JWP, no, we covered this. Reichi says, but they have Richie. That's true. They've got their fearless captain Richie. So that's at least Lucky Roo level. Power says, Elbaf not going to be better than Egghead. It's already off to a slow start. I don't think slow starts really matter. I think taking the time to do it right is what matters. Slow start doesn't really make a difference. If anything, I think a slow start is good because we finally get some time for the Strats to breathe, talk to each other, have scenes, reestablish that this is the core dynamic that we care about and enjoy seeing, so that now we can delve into some real character stuff, hopefully. Yeah, as for Shanks and Elbaf, I do think that it's very likely that Shanks will not be there towards the beginning of the arc. I'm probably going to be calling this stream in the next 5-ish minutes, next few minutes probably. But just a reminder for those people who are interested in joining me on stream, as you've seen in the if you haven't seen the top 30 stream, we had people who got the bundle join the stream then, right? So anybody that wants the bundle, you're free to join in on streams, hop in on streams. This next chapter stream that's coming out on Thursday, as you know, will be the last chapter stream for a little bit of time because Oda's going to go on a couple-week break. So if you want that opportunity to jump on that stream, I think we already got a couple signups for that. So if you want to be able to get in on that stream, then just make sure you get your bundle today. You obviously get the Onigashima poster, which to me, the Onigashima one is my favorite piece of the island artworks that have come out so far. So I'm just going to pin the link here. Again, everybody that gets a bundle gets a chance to go on stream. You get to pick the stream now. You get to decide which stream you want to go on. So if you want to join in on the chapter stream that's coming up, then obviously consider this as a good opportunity to do so. But beyond that, I'm probably going to close the stream out in a few minutes. One sec. Open That Casket says, you reading Hunter x Hunter? No. Well, yeah, the latest chapter. I thought for a second I thought it said rereading Hunter x Hunter, and then I realized what I said out loud myself. I'm not reading not rereading Hunter x Hunter, but I'm going to be reading every chapter as it comes out. Because before I was kind of like, let them pile up and then binge them. But with Hunter x Hunter, you actually don't really need that. With Chainsaw Man, I feel like I kind of need that because Chainsaw Man is so... the chapters are like, they fly by really quick, right? Chainsaw Man, the chapters just fly by. But with Hunter x Hunter, like the last chapter that I read, it's so dense. It's like a solid... like, depending on the chapter, it can be like a 10 to 20 minute reading experience, you know? So letting it pile up is not super necessary, I don't think. Yeah, I definitely think Blackbeard and Shanks is definitely going to happen. I think what I like a lot about the current Yonko groups is that there's something that connects each of them, right? Like Luffy and Blackbeard have connections, Luffy and Buggy have connections, Luffy and Shanks have connections, Buggy and Shanks have connections, Buggy and Luffy have connections, Shanks has connections to all three of them. I think Buggy and Blackbeard is the only like missing sort of, there's no real common thread. They don't know each other, they don't really interact, their crews don't really have any sort of connection to each other or anything like that. But everything else is tied together pretty nicely, which I think is great for this point in the story. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter is dense. It's dense enough that it's like there's just no need to let all of the chapters pile up. Like each reading experience is pretty strong. JWP says Hunter x Hunter Chapter 402 has the most dialogue in the entire story, broke the word amount record for Hunter x Hunter. Really? I would actually not have thought that. I felt it was pretty dense, but I didn't think that it was that dense. Wait. Did a new Hunter x Hunter chapter just come out? Hold on. Did a new one just come out? There's no way. I thought that... Hold on. Everybody calm down. Wait, a new chapter just came out? Holy shit. What? Oh, shit. So I haven't read this one. I thought you were talking about the previous one. I have not read 402. Shit. Shit. What am I doing here? Am I... Shoot, do I call... I'll decide if I feel like... I don't know if I'm... I could do a live reaction. I don't know if I feel like it right now, though. I was kind of mentally ready to call it a stream. GDN, thanks for the 5. Anime convinced me old Garp might be stronger than Luffy. Also, Pizarro looking stronger than Shiryu. I'll say this. For those who have forgotten, there were genuine discussions around this period of time. So around this period of time, I remember, because I remember Twitter back then. I remember with the stuff I was tweeting back then. I remember just the general discourse around this point in time. Luffy obviously looked amazing in Wano, everything he did with Kaido and everything. But then people were kind of, at this point in the arc, Luffy was struggling against those Seraphim. Right? Luffy was struggling against the Seraphim. And then Garp's out there doing the Galaxy Impact, Galaxy Divide shit and stuff like that. And there was a lot of discussion of, like, I don't know how seriously the discussion was, like, how serious the discussion was in terms of, like, okay, Luffy's actually weaker than Garp or something like that. But there was a lot of discussion of just, like, Luffy's fucking struggling with the Seraphim while Garp's out here doing, like, island-sized haki attacks. It just seemed like Garp was, like, from everything it looked like, it was just like, okay, is Luffy as strong as we thought? You know, like, there was that sort of, like, just nitpicking at Luffy during this point in the arc. Fast forward to, like, the point in the story that, like, the discussion dramatically changed back, like, the pendulum swung back hard, maybe even too hard, but the pendulum swung back really, really hard once the final fight really began, and Luffy just, like, the moment that Luffy took down Saturn and Kizaru at the same time, that was, if you go back and look at YouTube reactions, Twitter reactions, Reddit, etc., during that period of time, it was like the entire world had just been flipped upside down. It was just like, holy shit, Luffy's a, like, actual god. Like, when Luffy actually uses Gear 5th to the best of his ability, like, he's unbeatable. He's, like, low diffing Saturn and Kizaru at the same time. All of that shit. So it's kind of like the pendulum for Luffy just swings back and forth a lot because he's the main character. So he gets the most fights, and he's not going to go, like, Oda's not going to have him, like, go try hard every fight. He's going to have Luffy job a little bit certain fights. So during this section in time, you're like, anime fans think Garp might be stronger than Luffy right now. In the manga itself, people are like, holy shit, Garp looks way more impressive than Luffy does right now. That was a thing. Like, you can go back and read, like, comments and stuff going around back then. Because consensus post-Wano was that Luffy must be, like, top 5 or something. Then there were periods of Egghead where it was like, kind of like, all right, he's not looking crazy good or anything like that. He's looking fine. He should do better against these Seraphim and shit. Or like some people were like, he should have taken care of Lucci easier, etc. But then once we got to the Kizaru Saturn fight and Luffy actually was like pissed and like just pizza dipping them, it was just like, all right, never mind. Luffy's when Luffy wants to, it's it's raps for most characters that he's facing. Anyway, it's a dense chapter. Yeah, is it a good chapter? It's gonna take 30 minutes to read. I'm probably not gonna. I'm gonna read it on my own. Can someone tell me is it a good chapter? How's the chapter? How's the chapter? No spoilers, please. Have I read Vagabond since that one stream? No. I need to read. The order's gonna be Fire Punch, then potentially Dandadan, then Vagabond. At least Fire Punch first, then maybe Vagabond. It's a good chapter. I'm sure. Is it better than 401? You're gonna get me really excited if you say it's better than 401. Can't believe Hunter x Hunter died. Is Hunter 2? Okay. Even the fact that some people are saying yes and some people are saying it's a tie, that's pretty exciting. All right. End of the day, I am tired. I think I'm not going to react to it here. Shit. I could make Hunter x Hunter reactions a semi-regular thing. Could do that. I'm gonna leave it for right now. All right, everybody. It's not a manga chapter. It's a light novel. Yeah, I need to be comfy in bed reading that shit. Okay, everybody. I am gonna call it a day here. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you would like to tune in and actually join me live for next chapter review stream or next chapter stream this Thursday when the chapter comes out, of course, you get that free invite with your bundle. The bundle is linked and pinned at the top of this stream comment. So if you want to get the bundle of posters for this month, including that fantastic Onigashima poster, you get your stream invite. You can join for the chapter 1130 stream. It'll be the last chapter we have for a while. So yeah. All right, everybody. I will talk to you all later. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, thanks a lot.